And good morning, class. So for today, we'll be working with a new unit. I'm hoping that you did finish your project for water systems, and we are done with that unit. Now we're starting with the new one. This is light and optical systems. Okay, so well, you know light, right? Like you use it all the time. You can't see anything without light. You use it when you're using your phone because you're trying to capture the light, right, coming from other materials or other things, or another person. So have you noticed that you can't see a thing in a completely dark room, right? Why is light necessary for vision? Why can your eyes see what is directly in front of you but not what is around the corner? It's actually true, right? How is a rainbow formed? On hot days, why do roads appear to be wet? Somehow when you're driving going to Banff and you see, oh, it appears like you know, there's water at the front, but when the moment you pass by that area, you don't see anything. Uh, Actually, it is called a mirage. Um, why does the sun seem brighter at noon than at sunset? Good question. So make a strip of paper about 2 centimeters wide. You can pause this video, do this activity at home. Okay. Um, yeah, you can actually do this experiment at home. Okay. Pause the video and try working on this. And send me some pictures when you're done doing it. Okay. Go to the next one. Key questions. Okay. So what do we know about the nature and behavior of light? Okay. What technologies have been developed that use light? Okay. So we'll go now to the people who have long put light to work. So now looking at this picture here, this is Archimedes' death ray. So basically, what this does is it will reflect the light coming from the sun, obviously, and then concentrate it on one area, more like the magnifying glass when and I'm pretty sure that most of you have used that you use magnifying glass to burn something, because somehow the magnifying glass gets the sunlight and concentrate it in at a certain point, and that point will start to burn because of the intense amount of heat and energy received, right? So in this case, to protect themselves, this is what they will do. They will use Archimedes' death ray. So approaching ships will be so the ray will be pointed to the approaching ships, and hopefully those ships will burn. How can light be explained? Pythagoras, 500 BC, he said that light consisted of beams that came from a person's eyes. Pause the video, think about it. Light coming from your eyes allows you to see objects. Now, this can easily be uh, debunked when you turn off the light switch and you can't see anything because there's no light coming from your eyes. Okay. Sense of sight occurred when beams touched objects. Okay. So basically, so light coming from you, and then that light will touch the object, and then you can see the object. So what about seeing in the dark? So that's a problem, right? Since it's dark, so if your eyes will produce light, then you should be able to see in the dark. Properties of light. So light is a form of energy, and you can actually feel it. You go outside when it's sunny, you can feel the heat, right? And heat is a form of energy. So it's the speed in a vacuum. The speed of light is 300,000 kilometers per second. So that's 1 second, 1 second, and it has traveled 300,000 kilometers. Now, um, okay, let's do a quick. Okay, 300,000 divided by 175. 300,000 divided by 175. Okay, so basically, class, in 1 second, you can go to Banff 1,714 times at that speed. Again, 1 second, you'll be able to go to Banff for 1,714 times from Calgary going to Banff. That's approximately 175 kilometers. So see how fast light is, right? So light travels in a straight line, obviously. That's why when you're using reflectors, you're using mirrors to reflect the light, it follows a straight line. Um, unless it hits something or it's pulled by gravity. So it will bend. Okay, it will be bent when passing through a black hole. So when light hits a substance, it slows down. Okay, and that's the reason why. And we'll have more discussion. But somehow, when you go for a swim, somehow your legs appear to be shorter. Or when you're holding a glass of water and then you'll put a pencil there, it appears to be broken or something. Okay, so somehow it slows down or it changes direction. Okay, when waves slow down, they change direction. So that's what I'm saying. Um, so light can bounce off a mirror. You know that already. If you will go to telesparks, you will see there. And like a lot of activities that you can do related to reflection. So, um, okay, can bounce off a mirror. We call that reflection. It can bend through a lens, and we call it refraction. Okay, call it refraction. So light can be absorbed by dark materials, and that's why when you're wearing black shirt, somehow it feels warmer compared to wearing white. We don't see objects; we see light bouncing off objects. Okay, so the light that comes from that object and the color that it will reflect will be the things that we see. Okay, using these glasses. Okay, so when light passes through that, it makes it either it bends, somehow it bends, or it is refracted, which makes the object bigger or smaller depending on what the need is. um, okay, behavior of light. Okay, so ray diagram. So used to represent how light travels. So each straight line has an arrow to show the direction of the travel. Okay, so that's a ray diagram. So I'll just quickly show you. Okay. Okay, so like this. Okay, so that can be a ray diagram. It is okay. So that's the light going through a certain area, going straight. Okay, has an arrow to show the direction of travel. So light travels away from obviously the light source, right? So why does the intensity or brightness of light change by distance? Well, I we did mention a while ago that light is a form of energy, and since you have gas, you have air, somehow the amount of light will be absorbed, and we know that, right, that energy can be absorbed. So as light passes through, the gas, the atmosphere, whatever is in the maybe dust or something, then those things can absorb the amount of that those things can absorb light, absorb the energy coming from the light, and that's why the intensity of light changes by distance. So what causes a shadow? Okay, so you will notice here, you can see the person. Okay, and then that person will reflect the light back, which somehow will not leave any light behind. So that's the reason why you have a shadow. Okay, so when light hits an object, it can't go any farther. So in this case, it can't go to the back, and lack of light results to shadow. Interaction with materials. So light behaves in different ways when it strikes objects because of the type of material. Um, a shiny object like this can reflect light, right? But somehow an object like this one, since it's dark, since if it's not really smooth, then it will absorb more light. Okay. Um, so transparent materials, example light and clear plastic, they can allow light to pass through. It's the see me, right? So this is what we refer to as transparent. Um, okay, clear plastic, those things. Um, transmits light, allow light to pass through. Translucent materials are, when you go to church and you see those frosted windows, right? So those are examples of translucent. So basically, they will allow light to pass through, but not all of it, and it's not going to be that clear. I'm looking for something that resembles. Um, Never mind, I can't find anything. But translucent materials would be those frosted windows when you go to church. The images, Bible verses, and those things on the window of the church. They will allow light to pass through. Like this example here, they will allow light to pass through, but it's not that. clear. Now, if a material won't allow light to pass through, then we call it opaque material. Okay? Do not allow any light to pass through them. So shadow is, and if they don't allow light to pass through, then they will cast a shadow, absorbs or reflects the light that hits them. Okay, and that's it. Um, I'll be I will be sending assignments regarding topics this topic one, and stay tuned for additional lessons that will be uploaded very soon.